You have $2.3 million. And nobody around you has any idea. Not your coworkers. Not your neighbors. Not the guy who just judged your car in the parking lot. Today, you're going to live an ordinary Tuesday. And by the end of it, I'll show you exactly how this happens. Level 1. 6:47 a.m. You wake up in a 900 square foot apartment. Not a mansion. Not a penthouse. Just normal. Your alarm is an $80 phone you bought used. Your coffee is instant, the store brand. Your car outside is a 2009 Honda Civic with 140,000 miles on it. Nobody driving past would guess what the bank account attached to it actually says. People think wealth announces itself. But that's the opposite of how most self-made millionaires actually live. 79% of self-made millionaires are first-generation wealthy. Most drive modest, used cars. Most live in ordinary neighborhoods. Because the people with the most money are usually the best at not spending it. Level 2. 8:15 a.m. You get to work. Same job you've had for 11 years. Middle manager. Nothing glamorous. Your coworkers complain about rent going up again. You nod along, sympathetic. You don't mention your dividend income covered rent 5 times over. Because that was never the point. Let's talk about how someone in an ordinary job ends up with millions. Say you're making $65,000 a year, a completely average salary. If you invest 20% of that every year for 30 years, you end up with roughly $2.3 million. No inheritance, no stock-picking genius, no lottery ticket, just a normal salary, a consistent habit, and time. Level 3. 12:30 p.m. Lunch. You packed it, leftover rice, some chicken. Someone asks why you don't just buy lunch. You could probably afford it. You laugh it off. You could afford the whole restaurant. That $12 lunch you skipped today isn't just $12. Invested for 20 years, it's worth about $81. In 30 years, it's worth around $210. This isn't about lattes being evil. It's about small, boring decisions repeated for a long time. Level 4. 6:30 p.m. You're home. You open your brokerage app for 11 seconds. Not to spend, just to check. About 60% is in broad market index funds. About 20% is in real estate, one rental property. 15% is in a retirement account you started at 22. You never stop contributing, not during a layoff, a recession, or a divorce. The remaining 5% is just boring, sitting there cash. No lumbo, no watch collection, no flexing, just decades of choosing later over right now. Time in the market, not timing the market. Automatic contributions that happen whether you're paying attention or not. And the discipline to leave it alone. That steepening curve at the end, that's the part almost nobody sees. Level 5. It's tempting to think this person is hiding something. But talk to actual quiet wealth people, and the story is the opposite. They're not hiding money. They stopped needing anyone to know about it. The moment wealth becomes something you perform, it usually stops compounding. Lifestyle creep is one of the most common ways people end up with nothing to show for it. The wealth stayed quiet because the spending stayed quiet. That's really the whole trick. It's not a secret. It's just boring. A modest income. A high, consistent savings rate. Investments left alone for decades instead of touched every time the market got scary. And a complete disinterest in using money to prove anything to anyone. That's it. That's the whole secret. Boring, repeated for 20 or 30 years, is one of the most powerful financial forces that exists. If you want to see the math behind your own numbers, I'll break that down in the next video. Make sure you're subscribed for that. And if this changed how you see the next broke-looking person you meet, let me know in the comments. I read every single one.